We have a New York Yankees.
That's where I was about to go next. I think that this is related to the Orioles, and it's very significant if you're a Yankee or a Oriole fan. And that's the fact that there was an MRI. There's a report from Jeff Passan that here it is. Jeff Passan tweets, Yankees ace Gerrit Cole will have an MRI on his right elbow. Manager Aaron Boone told reporters today Cole is coming off winning the American League Cy Young Award and has had difficulty bouncing back between spring training starts, Boone said. This is a massive concern. If we're going to talk about panic meter for the Yankees,
that's up there.
That's way up there, especially with the fact that so far in its spring training, but Rodon hasn't gotten off to a great start in spring training. But to lose the best pitcher, not just on your team
in baseball,
in the league. I mean, and the Yankees don't have much depth at pitching, correct?
No. Nope.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, going into the season, I was like, it wouldn't surprise me if the Yankees ended up winning the division. If Cole goes out and he's out for a while, forget that. It'll be the Orioles' division to lose.
The Yankees thing this year, and we've talked about it, was they had Gerrit Cole, and then it was 4 question marks. And when you get rid of Gerrit Cole, it throws everything up because Rodon, Nestor Cortez, those guys, they're expecting big things from them, but they're having injury history. They're always, there's that concern. So now all of a sudden you have your top 3 starters are injury concerns. So that really devastates the Yankees if they lose him for any amount of time.
Not good.
And on paper, though, you're right. Rodon should be better, but since he signed the deal, he's been injured and hasn't had a chance to prove himself. This is a big prove it year. He seems healthy at the moment. But Nestor Cortez, what happened with
Austin Eckler is going to the Commanders.
What?
Zach,
wow.
Zach is celebrating. I'm sorry, you need me to clip that one.
All right, we will jump right back into that in a second with the news. With in football, of course, this happens the whole day, right? It naturally does. But for the Yankees, Nestor Cortez, when he's healthy, is proven that he's an all-star caliber pitcher. Carlos Rodon, his track record is able to do quite a lot. But it's what are you going to do now when you're bouncing back from an injury? Yeah. And for Gerrit Cole specifically, that's that anchor of the staff. Just like everyone was complaining last year, the Orioles didn't have enough. And the Orioles, Bradish and Grayson Rodriguez turned out to be a great 1-2 punch. But then this is, again, we think that a healthy Bradish and a healthy Grayson Rodriguez, taking out Burns before, those guys could be Cy Young candidates. Those guys can be all-stars.
Oh, my God.
But Gerrit Cole specifically, this is a dude that has been that. He's been there. He's done that. And he is that lifeline of that Yankees pitching staff. And that is going to be a massive, massive situation to monitor for New York fans, Oriole fans, and no one's feeling bad about it. It's a part of it. The Orioles are going to miss out on Felix Bautista for this year. Kyle Bradish is dealing with his injury, which we've also said, do not hold your breath on an injury like that with his elbow. Hopefully we'll figure it out. So time will tell. Time will tell with the Yankees. But Brad, it's interesting. If Gerrit Cole misses, it'll be interesting to see what the odds makers will do in the future.
They'll still have the Yankees winning the division because they're the Yankees, and that's what the odds makers will do. Vegas is just going to always, put them first until something extreme happens, which you would have thought that the way that the Orioles played last year would have been something to push them closer to the top. But, the Orioles, I guess, just gonna have to do it again. I think a lot of the narrative right now is just that last year was more of a fluke than anything. So they always go out there and prove that it isn't. I think that people are gonna have to listen at that point. But yeah, the Yankees, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me. I almost kind of put them winning the division, but without depth at pitching like that, and with those guys being out, I don't know how that happens.
Not having Gerrit Cole, but then Brandon asked this question: will this force the Yankees to go get Snell?
Probably.
No, it is. This is
why wouldn't it?
Unfortunately, if Gerrit Cole goes down with a major injury, Scott Boras won. This is exactly what he was hoping: is that a team would have an injury in spring training, and then they were going to have to go pay his players.
That Blake Snell's there, Scott Boras?
Yeah. Okay.
And Snell, Montgomery.
So one of those guys feels like they'd be in play to go to New York, Snell or Montgomery, if this injury is something that's going to be more long-term.
Yeah.
And Jason was even saying that they also announced Judge's fatigue, so Yankees Twitter is on fire. I'm not worried about Aaron Judge. He should be fine. The Yankees lineup I actually think is going to be pretty solid. I really do.
Oh yeah,
but
the bats are going to be ridiculous.
Pitching at the end of the day is going to be the biggest discussion. Does your pitching hold up? And when you're in the American League East and you have these lineups, even in the American League period, you're competing with the other teams to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's going to be challenging because Texas, it proves that they can bang and hit the ball. You have the Astros that aren't going away. The Mariners are still on that upswing. Oh, and then by the way, the rest of the AL East, even though Boston's kind of behind on that sense, the Yankees, the Orioles, the Blue Jays, it's going to be in the race. Like I haven't even mentioned Tampa because Tampa just finds ways. Tampa's probably the only team that can have star players be out and still find a way. They really have been. So
it's crazy.
Time will tell.
Tampa could lose their entire roster in like free agency offseason, and they would show up with 26 of those most random dudes, and 3 of them would be competing for the Cy Young. And
us three.
It could literally be us, and they will turn us into Cy Young kid. What the Rays can do with pitching is incredible.
Yeah,
it's incredible. You can just never count them out.
Well, I got to see it firsthand. They shoved it right up my ass, especially in AAA. It was not fun. They literally
shoved it up your ass.
They literally did.